This is Alexa Figueres, and she's going to teach us how to make a welt pocket today. We're going to start with a welt, which is 8 inches long by 3.5 inches wide. And it has tricot on the back so that it looks dark on the wrong side. This is for a 6-inch long pocket.
Okay, so we have the inside of our jacket. This is where our welt is. This is going to be the middle opening of it. This is what is going to make up the welt. And what I like to do, you can either thread mark it through to the front, or in this case, I like to just do some pins so that I roughly know where my welt is going to be. And then I'm flipping it over to the jacket face, and I can see my 2 pins right here. This is the welt that I'm going to be using. So I fold it in half, and I put it towards the middle where that's going to be. So face to face. So the face of the welt is on the face of the jacket, touching the face of the jacket. And then I just put 2 pins on either end. It just needs to roughly stay in that place. Okay? And then I flip it back over. I don't need these pins anymore. So a standard welt is going to be 1/2 inch wide. Each welt themselves are going to be 1/4 inch. I'm going to draw in the box of the shape that I'm sewing, but you have to remember that your ruler is going to make it a hair bigger than it normally turns out. So I just recess it slightly inside. So that's the top of my welt. And the same thing with the other one. Because remember, the middle line is not the line you're stitching. It's going to be the outside lines. So I do my 90-degree angles at the ends because we have marked each end of the welt. Okay, and then I'm going to take this over to my sewing machine to sew. I like to start in the middle of my box instead of at the edges, because if you start at the corners, you're going to have to backstitch and it gets really chunky, and that's going to be a problem later. So to do this, I also set my stitch length to really small, so I'm stitching on a 2 right now. And you need to be really mindful of being directly on the line, because this is going to affect us later. And I'm careful coming to my corners because I want to make a perfect turn, so all the way down in the corner, and then turn it. That's why I walk it just a tiny bit. Okay, right down into the corner, and then turn. No, we don't have to backstitch, we can just overlap, but make sure you're stitching straight on that line that you already did. Okay, so that's my box. So we're going to be clipping all the way through both layers of this, but we need to clip into a Y shape in the corner of this box. And it's imperative you have sharp scissors for this, because you absolutely cannot go past the stitch line.
Your Ys are shorter than mine.
I normally just make them real short. Do you want me to make it longer so it's more aligned with what you do?
No, I mean, I've always been taught to do a 1/2 inch, but it looks like you don't have to do that. So
Yeah.
These are about 3/8, guys.
So clipping all the way, got it all the way through. And you really have to be careful right up to that stitch line. It's bad practice holding it that far into the air. Okay, scary part over. Okay, so we're gonna work with the irons. I found the best way to do this is to press this open first, because your welt is going to form around the seam allowance that's inside of them.
Working from the wrong side of the garment, Alexa is pressing open the seam allowances of the garment only, and she's not touching the little Ys at the ends of the pocket. She's leaving the seam allowance of the welt itself untouched because we're going to be folding the welt around its own seam allowances.
I'm going to flip it back to the face of the jacket, and then I'm going to press my welt up so the seam allowances are essentially pressed open. Same thing with the other side. Make sure you don't unpress what you just pressed. Okay. And then I'm going to flip this inside out. See, that's the box you have open. But we're forming it on this. And when you're working in wool or anything that's a bit thicker, it's good to trim down the seam allowances like 1/16. Because otherwise the welts will end up just a little too big. I think this one ended up a little small, so I might just leave that as is. Okay, so you're gonna start forming your welts, and once you get really good, you can both feel it and eyeball it at the same time. So I'm feeling the inside where the seam allowance that's going up into the welt is. And this is why you have to work at the iron for this part, because I'm going to double check, see how it's getting a bit too small on that side. And I'm going to press the shape of my welt in place. You can also pin it. I would pin it in the middle of the welt because you're going to have access to that seam allowance under there afterwards. So that's one side. Okay. And then same with the other. And the other, you have to make sure that the lips are touching each other. So the tabs on the end here are going to go this way. And how you know you're doing it right is that it's folded like that, like a pleat. Because it's essentially just one big box pleat on the end.
So this is one place where what Alexa's showing you and what I showed you in class differ a little bit, because I did my welt pocket with 2 strips and Alexa did hers with just 1. And so that's why she ended up with that funny little box pleat on the ends. So she's now pressing this so that you can see it through the muslin. You can see all of the jacket seam allowance, including those little Ys facing out toward the corner. This is a better shot of the funny little box pleat that you get when you're doing this welt in one piece. And so she's just making sure that that's nice and smooth. And then she's going to press that really carefully. So once Alexa has that pressed, she's just going to put some pins in, and you'll notice that she's pinning right in the middle of the welt. That's because we're going to need to be able to access the seam line, so we really don't want our pins in the ditch.
Into place. Let's start. So I have my welts. I'm going to flip over just so I can see the seam allowances, and this is why we have it pinned so that it stays where I want it. And I've switched to my zipper fit, where it only stitches on the left side. And the important thing is getting right into those corners again. So I'm gonna stitch exactly on that stitch line that I did before. So, small back stitch. inside of the welt. And then I'm going to do the bottom part of the welt. Same thing, right from that corner. Okay.
So this is the moment of truth where we see how Alexa did while she was talking and sewing for the first time. And this came out pretty good. We did notice, though, that there was one spot where she trimmed just a tiny little bit too far into the corner on the muslin. And that is a problem. And once that happens, there's really no way to backtrack. So you want to be careful about that.
So last up, I'm gonna go and do these tabs down on either side. And you gotta make sure that that box pleat stays in place because you want to make sure that they're touching. Okay, so my last step, I just give it all a press, and that's my welt. And if we're adding a pocket bag to it, you sew it again to the same stitch lines. You sew the top of the pocket bag here, bottom of the pocket bag there, and then it's usable as a pocket.